comparatively speaking, this is not the worst Insidious movie. Needless to say, it is not exactly good. It's alright, it's decent, but it's not really, it's just another Insidious movie, and you already know most of this entire franchise is basically fucking slop. It's garbage. It's just straight throwaway movies that are done with the least amount of effort possible, and somehow they still make a shit ton of profit. So that just goes to show how we as a society are functioning in terms of who we give money to. Whatever. Point of the matter is, yeah, this movie is really just another, just very generic, commonsensical horror film. Now, I have a lot, and I mean a lot of complaints about this movie, okay? First and foremost, you know, if you care about spoilers in this movie, honestly, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I doing with my life? Because if you care for spoilers, bro, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not even that fucking worth it. So, honestly, actually, let's start with the things that I did like about the movie. So, there's literally like two things. First of all, the tension building is quite decent on this one. You know, it's not like jump scare to jump scare to jump scare to jump scare. It's more like there's actual tension building in some of these scenes, which I really do appreciate. I like more when there's not someone just screaming at my face, and more so something just creeping up into the scene or something along those lines. I really did appreciate those scenes. And also, the main villain, you know, obviously in every Insidious movie we have like a villain or a bad guy or a big monster, big old Satan copycat. On this one, I'm not gonna lie, I basically kind of saw this entity as like a Resident Evil character. Like it really reminded me of Resident Evil games, even though I wasn't really that big into them growing up. But it really did remind me of like in Resident Evil character, villain, whatever you want to call him, and I actually did appreciate that. Needless to say, I'm going to straight up pivot off of that comment and say the way they handle these fucking entities, to this day I cannot understand it, because this exact same thing happened in The Nun, where at the start of The Nun 2, which I think is one of the worst horror films of all time, at the start of The Nun 2, The Nun was like straight up like one-shotting everyone on the map. She was like straight up, she held that priest up, lit him on fire and shit, and then towards the end of the movie, at the final fight, that bitch had less power than fucking KO level 1. Like we talking like that motherfucker was shooting a Nerf gun in a Battlefield 6 game. Like it was really really bad. And that exact same thing happens in this movie as well. I don't know if it's like if these writers really think through what's going on in the movie or what happened prior. I think they established something at the beginning and they kind of lose track while they're writing the ending of the movie, and then that kind of throws them away. It's the only explanation, because how the fuck you're gonna tell me this character, like probably like 10 minutes prior to the final scene, literally fucking straight up nearly one-shot one of the characters, and then completely takes his sweet ass time with the main character. Now I know, you know, plot armor, blah blah blah, but you know, shit like that pisses me off, man. I'm not gonna lie, that shit like that pisses me off, because like, why is every villain so fucking stupid when they're at the best moment that they can actually flex their power? They become the dumbest human beings or just entities imaginable. Like, to me, I don't understand that writing concept. Storytelling wise, maybe, but commonsensical wise, I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm gonna make it a word. It doesn't make sense. Now, another thing I didn't like about the movie is some of the writing issues. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think the storytelling element of it, like what they were trying to say, was okay. I think it was probably one of the better story told Insidious movies. Needless to say, I barely remember most of them, but honestly, this kind of was like, okay, you know what? I'm tracking. I think this is pretty good. This is like, it's actually going somewhere. We're not just getting pointless jump scares with a mundane story. We're actually getting some sort of substance to these stories and these characters and whatever. But in that aspect too, some of the writing is really bad. Like some of the there's not really that many comedic elements, but there's some things that really fucking piss me off. Especially, I think the ending of this movie just entirely pissed me off. Like, in every sense of the way, it just pissed me off. Like, the last line Was it the last line? Yeah, it was like around the last line of the main character. There was no need for that scene itself to happen, but then it still did it. You know what? I'm just gonna say it because again, if you care about spoilers, that's your problem. So at the end of the scene, she has power. That's another fucking thing I hate. Everyone has powers in these fucking franchises, dude. This is fucking stupid. Anyways, so she can take things from the further in and out. So she can go into the further, grab something, bring it back out, and she can bring something into the further, whatever. So she discovers this, and that's the way they beat the entity. And at the end of the scene, she's holding up to the doorknob of the house, so she can basically just take the whole fucking house to the further. And then once she does that and actually, you know, quote unquote beats the entity and whatever, she goes, "No, I guess I did beat you." Haha. And then she opens the door, and then they're just both standing there, like the fuck you mean you're just gonna? What is going on? Like it really did piss me off because there's no place, there's a place and a time for things. That was not it. That completely just like the whole movie is bullshit, and then you add that on top of it, it just makes it worse. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason for that line to be delivered at that moment by that character, or simply in the entire movie. There's no reason for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want these movies to be taken seriously, you have to fucking evade these kinds of things. Granted, I don't think they want these movies to be taken serious anyways, because they still make a shit ton of money. Because then again, it's a horror movie. Everybody goes every weekend to watch a horror movie, man. If you aspire to work in cinematography, then do a horror film, okay? Just spam horror films as much as you can, and you'll eventually make a profit, because that's how this works. And again, a lot of the things in the movie are handled really carelessly. I wouldn't say even carelessly. I just think like they didn't put that much. They put slightly a bit of thought into what they were trying to do and trying to say, but midway through it, they just like kind of gave up. They were like, you know what? People are gonna watch this anyways. Let's just stop trying and let's just start shooting. Like I feel like that's what happened with the movie, because it feels like it kind of feels like two different movies. Like the beginning of the movie is very tension building. Yes, you have jump scares and this and that, but it's like more into the creepy elements of trying to figure out what's going on. The second half of the movie is literally just another Insidious Conjuring slop garbage. You know what I'm saying? So like mix it together, and then it's just like kind of mix it together, and then they give you potentially one of the worst endings. I wouldn't say it's that bad of an ending, but to me personally, it did piss me off. So, you know, because it's just bullshit that I have to sit through that, and then in the end, they just have to do a comedic bit for no fucking reason. Even though we're supposed to be dragged into the movie, right? You're supposed to feel all the emotions these characters are going through, because they're going through an intense moment where this bitch is about to lose her daughter, and then we just have to throw a comedic element there. And also, the ending also reminded me of Weapons. I'm pretty sure, honestly, not even borrowed. They fucking stole the shit from Weapons. Like, what the fuck, man? It's disgusting, honestly. To me, it's not a slop, because I don't think it's the worst, but it still is bad. It's not good. It's okay. That's the highest I can give it. It's okay. I think it would have been decent if they fixed that finale and just made it its own thing, but for some reason we have to throw a comedic element literally at the end for no fucking reason. So, yeah, this movie's like a 4 garbage. Wait for it to come out on digital or wherever. Yes.